Students, in the last class we studied about the phenomenon of light, that is reflection. So reflection means when the light incident on the medium, it reflect or bounce back to the same medium without changing the medium but change in the direction of light. Means the light bounce back to the same medium when it touches the surface. It cannot pass through the medium. That phenomenon is known as reflection of light. In that conditions, the number of images, what type of images is formed by using the concave mirror, convex mirror, we already discussed. In this class, we are going to discuss the next topic is refraction. So, what is meant by refraction? It is also another phenomenon of light. It is also another phenomenon of light. Here, when the light is incident on the surface, if it is a transparent medium, there is two mediums, already we discussed about that, optical medium and opaque medium, optical medium and opaque mediums. Optical medium means the light which can pass through the medium which allow the light to pass through. So then that medium is called as optical medium. And the opaque medium means which the light cannot pass through the surface or the medium. For example, opaque medium, wood, mirror, board, like that wall. So these are the examples for opaque medium. And the optical medium examples: air, vacuum, glass, water. So these are the examples for optical medium. Optical medium means which the light passes through that surface or the medium. Then that medium is called as optical medium. So here let me clear that in that opaque medium, so that phenomenon that is which happens is reflection. So the reflection phenomenon only happens in opaque medium. In the optical medium, so reflection and also the refraction, both the phenomenon which can be seen in the optical medium. Means here the refraction will be appear or can be seen in the which mediums? Optical mediums. What is meant by refraction? Refraction means when the light is passes through the medium which the another medium enters, and it is also a optical medium. Then if it is passed through that another medium, it bends, the light bends. So that phenomenon is known as refraction. We call it as another bending nature of light. So another phenomenon or another name, it is also called as bending nature of light, is also called as refraction. Refraction, it is nothing but when the light travel from one medium to another medium, which means both are optical mediums. Optical mediums examples: water, air, glass, like that. When that light travels from one medium to another medium, it bends. So that bending nature of light is known as refraction. When the light travels travels from one medium to another medium. It bends or it obliquely travels, or it bends. It's bends. That bending nature of light is known as refraction of light. So this is the definition for the refraction of light. When the light travels from one medium to another medium, vary in density, it bends. When it travels from one medium to another medium, it bends. That bending nature of light is known as refraction of light. Shall we take the example for that? Okay, so this is the glass surface, or it is the surface, water surface. Above that surface it is a air medium, and below that surface it is a water medium. Okay, air, its density vary with the water. Air density is less compared to the water, so that's why air is called as rarer medium. Air is called as the rarer medium and water is called as the denser medium. Depending on the speed of the light, we decide the rarer medium and the denser medium. After that we will discuss later about that optical density. Okay, now what is meant by refraction? When the light travel, okay, if it is draw the normal means the ray or the line which is the perpendicular to the surface, this is the water surface, and above that there is a air medium. Okay, when the light travel or the incident on the water surface, this is the normal ray. Okay, so it is this point is the point of incidence, that is called as O, that is mentioned it as O, and N is the normal ray. Okay, and AO is the incident ray. AO is the incident ray. NO is the normal ray. O is the point of incidence. Okay, if the light ray, AO is the light ray which is incident on the water surface, that surface is separating the two mediums, that is air medium and also the water medium. Okay, that surface, it is mentioned it as the XY. Okay, shall we call it as XY? AO is the incident ray which incident on the point O. O is the point of incidence, and NO is the normal ray. Normal ray means the ray which is perpendicular to the surface, Okay, so now the ray, this is the incident ray which when it travels from air medium to water medium, it cannot pass through straight, it bends slightly like this. This bending nature of light is known as refraction of light. Okay, so AO is the incident ray and angle is called as the angle of incidence. Angle AON. Angle AON is the angle of incidence. Angle of incidence. Angle of incidence. Angle of incidence means the angle between the incident ray and the normal. With respect to the normal only, we measure the angle of incidence and the angle of refraction. Here only refraction we will consider. Okay, so angle AON is the angle of incidence, that is mentioned it as I. That is mentioned it as I. Okay, the angle between the incident ray and the normal ray is called as the angle of incidence. This is the refracted ray, then it is mentioned it as OB. OB is the refracted ray. OB is the refracted ray. OB is the refracted ray, and angle between the normal n dash, it is mentioned it as n dash OB is the angle of refraction. That means n dash OB is the angle of refraction. Angle of refraction. Angle of refraction. Okay, this phenomenon is known as refraction of light. When the light travels from one medium to another medium, it bends. It obliquely passes through the medium. Oblique means it is also called as bends. Okay, this phenomenon, when that vary in densities, vary in optical densities, when that light travels from one medium to another medium, it bends. That phenomenon, that bending nature of light is known as refraction of light. Not only air and water, when that light travel from water and air also, it bends. So that is also called as refraction of light. We will compare. So any two mediums vary in densities, vary in optical densities. That which phenomenon occurs, that is refraction. Okay, so vary in optical densities, so which phenomenon occurs, that is refraction. Not only the refraction, when the beam of light which incident on the water surface, part of the light it gets reflected. Some part of the light which can pass through the water medium. So means not only the complete part of the light which cannot pass through the water medium, some part of the light which reflects and some part of the light which can pass through the water medium. Okay, so got it? Okay, we will move on to the next concept. Okay, so already we know the definition of refraction of light. One more condition, why that refraction takes place, means bending nature of light takes place when it travels from one medium to another medium, due to the optical density, vary in density of the medium, optical density. Okay, due to the optical density between the surface, between the mediums, this is called as the one medium, that is air medium, and the water. So these are two different mediums. That's why that bending nature occurs. That optical density defined by the speed of the light. Speed of the light will be vary from one medium to another medium. So air medium, that the speed will be more, and in the water medium, that's the speed of the light will be less. That's why that bending of light takes place during when the light travels from one medium to the another medium. Okay, so another condition later on, optical density, after that I will explain. Next, coming to the another condition, that is loss of refraction. Here also there are two laws, okay. So first law and second law of refraction, like that laws of reflection. Here also two laws. So first law, that is first law here, first condition, AO is the incident ray and NO is the normal and OB is the refracted ray. AO is the incident ray, AO is the incident ray, AO is the incident ray, NO is the normal, NO is the normal, NO or NO N dash is the normal. Then OB is the refracted ray. OB is the refracted ray. Okay. First law that is about is same as like that laws of refraction. That is first law is the incident ray, normal ray and the refracted ray at the point of incidence all lie in the same plane. It is same as like that the first law of reflection. Here also same, incident ray, normal ray, refracted ray at the point of incidence. Point of incidence is O. All lie in the same plane. That means, so all these three rays occur in the same plane. Plane means it is like if a light pass through this any surface, it bends through that medium in a single plane. So that's why that the first law states that, first law of refraction states that the incident ray, normal and the refracted ray at the point of incidence, all lie in the same plane, all these three rays means incident ray, normal ray and the refracted ray. Say if it is a plane surface, see here all these three rays, normal ray, incident ray and the refracted ray, all these three rays will be appear in the only one single surface. That's why it is called as the plane, same plane. All these three rays are appear in the same plane. Okay, so that is the first law of refraction. The incident ray, normal ray and the refracted ray. It is a plane surface. All these three rays will be appear. We know that all these three rays will be appear in the same surface. That means a plane. So that is about the first law of refraction. All the three rays, that is incident, normal and the refracted ray at the point of incidence. Point of incidence is O. All these three rays will be appear in the same plane. Okay. And the another ray, another law is also called first law. This is the first law and the second law of refraction. It is also called as Snell's law, not smell, it is Snell's law of refraction. Okay, Snell's law of refraction. Okay, observe here there is a two mediums, that is air medium. It is all air medium is a rarer medium and the water medium, it is a denser medium. How we will define that rarer and denser? Depending on the optical density, we will define which is rarer and which is denser. Okay, according to Snell's law or the second law of refraction, when it is also called as Snell's law and it is defined as the ratio of, it is the ratio of sine of angle of incidence, sine of angle of incidence to the sine of angle of refraction, angle of refraction is a constant, for a given pair of media and a given wavelength of light, It is mentioned by the formula. So that constant is called as the refractive index. That constant is called the refractive index. So constant or refractive index. So that formula is sin I by sin R. Sin I by sin R. I is the angle of incidence, R is the angle of refraction. The Snell's law, it states that the ratio of sine of incidence, angle of incidence, Snell's law states that the sine of, it is the ratio means the fraction, the sine of angle of incidence to the sine of the angle of refraction is a constant, That constant is called as the refractive index. That constant is called as the refractive index for a given pair of media. Here we see a given two medias, that is two mediums. Medium is a singular, media is a plural. So air is one medium and the water is another medium. Here there is a two pair of media. So hence we defined as for the Snell's law states that the sine of the angle of incidence to the sine of the angle of refraction is a constant. That constant is called as the refractive index. That constant is called as the refractive index for a given pair of media. It is a constant for a given pair of media and a given wavelength of light. For a given wavelength of light will be vary for the various electromagnetic radiations like visible light, radio waves, then ultraviolet rays. So that's why for a fixed wavelength, for a given wavelength, and a given pair of media, so that law will be stated it as the ratio of sine of angle of incidence to the sine of angle of refraction is a constant. That constant is called as the refractive index. So that is also called as the Snell's law or second law of refraction. Okay. So thank you.